decorating the Christmas tree. Well, actually, it isn't the Christmas tree at my house. It's the Christmas tree that we're going to be talking about today. Just let me put the ornaments down and I'll be right with you. This is Jane at Green Side Up. And today I'm going to be talking about the Norfolk Island Pine. Now, this is not the same as a Norfolk pine, which is a big tree, a big pine tree. The Norfolk Island Pine originates somewhere out in the South Pacific, some island out there. In the wild, it can actually get very big, like 200 feet tall. The ones that are going to be in your house are probably going to get, between 3 to 8 feet. Not quite that 200-footer. The Norfolk Island Pine is a very pretty tree. It's got very soft needles. They grow nice and straight, and they have just this very nice symmetrical look to them. A lot of people, instead of having a cut tree or an artificial tree, they want a live tree. And this has become a very popular type of tree that they can use in their house at Christmas. Because it's so soft, it's easy to decorate, although you can't put real heavy things on it because the branches will, bend down. But then when Christmas is done, you can use it as a house plant. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. It's not a tree that you can plant outside unless you live way down in the southern part of Florida, zones 10 and 11. That's growing zones 10 and 11. Here in Fayetteville, we're growing zone 8. It's too cold for it outside in the winter. Even though the name of this tree is the Norfolk Island Pine, it isn't really a pine tree. It's actually related to the monkey puzzle tree. As I said, it does grow wild in zones 10 and 11, but people use it here as a houseplant, and it does very well as a houseplant. In the summertime, you can put it outside. In fact, you can put most of your houseplants outside in the summertime. When it starts to get cold, you'll need to bring it in. It can handle cooler temperatures, but anything below 35, it's not going to be happy at all. So make sure that when it starts cooling off in the fall, you get your Norfolk Island Pine inside. Now, the care of your Norfolk Island Pine is pretty easy. It's just like a lot of houseplants. It likes a lot of light, bright light, so you're going to want to put it in a window. And as far as watering, you always walk this very fine line with your plants, too wet, too dry. You want it just right down the middle. You don't want it dripping wet, but you don't want it to dry out completely. So when the soil gets dry, about a couple inches down, give it some water. How often that is, of course, is going to depend on how warm your house is. If you keep your house very warm, you'll be watering it maybe even up to twice a week. If your house is kept cooler like mine, you might be able to go 7 to 10 days even between waterings. So that just depends on your house. Besides the bright light, the other thing the trees like is, of course, the right amount of water. Now, I was reading, and this is going to probably confuse you just a little bit. It says that if the leaves turn yellow or the leaves turn brown, it can be from too much water or not enough water. It can be because it's too warm or it's too cold. You're just going to have to play with it a little bit, just like you do with all the rest of your houseplants. The Norfolk Island Pine outside is pretty much pest-free. In your house, of course, it can get the usual pests that come into the house. Whiteflies, aphids, mealybugs, those type of insects. You can treat it with an insecticide. You can do either, of course, the topical insecticide that you would just spray on, or you can do the systemic, where you put it into the dirt and then it's taken up into the root system of the plant. I like doing that, especially with plants that don't have flowers. A systemic insecticide can hurt your bees and stuff outside. A plant like this doesn't make flowers. You don't have to worry about the bees. Other than that, once in a while they can get a little bit of a fungus, but it's basically a pest-free, fungus-free plant. It's easy to take care of. If you think that you would like a live Christmas tree this year, we have little Norfolk Island pines here. They even come with a cute little tag. It's great for a gift giving. And if you have questions about them, we're here just about all the time. So just stop on in. You can pick up your little tree. You can ask your questions and any other questions that you might have. There also is a comment section at the bottom of your page. This is Jane at Green Side Up, wishing you a very happy holiday season.